Well, hello, YouTube. Steve Patton with General Patton Bushcraft back with you, friends. I'm back out in the backyard for another DIY class. Today, we're going to make our own Sterno can stove. What if you don't have a fancy stove like this one here for your Sterno fuel can, but you have an old peanut can? You can make your own. All right, friends, it's a good time to hit that subscribe button and give the video a thumbs up. I'll be right back with you. Thank you so much for stopping by General Patton's Bushcraft and Self-Reliance on YouTube. I appreciate everything you do for the channel and all your support. All right, friends, in this DIY class, we're going to make our own Sterno can stove out of this. This is a cinnamon sugar cashew can, empty. I saved it so I can make a stove out of it. But what I'm talking about is like, this is a fancy store-bought, foldable, collapsible. Actually, it's a really nice stove, but it collapses down like so. But let's pretend like we don't have the means to get our hands on one of these. But we got an old peanut can, or in this case, a cashew can. We can make our own Sterno stove. So let's go ahead and set it up. All I'm going to use is a nail and my hatchet. All right, we're set up. We got our cinnamon sugar cashew can here ready to go. Let's pull the lid off. Let's see if our Sterno can, this is a 4-hour chafing fuel, safe heat. It's got a wick inside of it, but it will fit in there. Look at that, friends. So we could carry it like this if we save the lid. So it does fit good. But what we want to do is we're going to turn it over. This will be our cooking surface. It'll fit like that. Let's just take our nail and poke some holes in there. All right, just got a regular nail here, and let's start with one in the very center. Just like that. We're going to go halfway out to this first ring, from the center hole to the first ring, halfway out. Right there. Pop another one. Okay. Let's pop another one here. Okay. We got the center section done. Now let's just go around these rings here. Like that. Then we'll go halfway between here and here, right there on that ring. Pop it in. Let's give it a little tap. Pop, pop. Okay, let's go to the next ring out. We'll go to the very outer ring now. Anyone can do this. Ladies, you too. Children, grandchildren. Anybody and everybody. That's our setup, friends. All right, let's try it out. Switch this out for our Sterno can. Let's pop the top on this. There's our wick. There's our fuel. And I did get a question in the comments. I appreciate all your comments, by the way. I got a comment of a gentleman who was wondering if we could light this with the ferro rod. Well, let's try it out. Yeah, we sure can. I had to give it a shotgun effect. But we got it lit. That's a clean burning fuel, so it's hard to see the flame. But yes, it is lit. So ferro rod will work. We got our fuel source going. Let's put our stove on there. Well, we snuffed it out, so what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to poke some holes around the bottom. Alright, I got a piece of fat wood here, friends. And then let's put this like that. We could pop a hole. Like that, there we go. Okay, and let's just go all the way around and pop some holes in this thing. Okay, friends, we took our nail, we put a piece of wood underneath there, and then we pop some holes all the way around what's going to be the bottom of the stove. Let's see if our lid still fits. Okay. There's our burning surface. There's the surface of our stove, the grill top. Now, hopefully these holes along the bottom will allow us to draw some oxygen in from the bottom and not snuff out that Sterno can. Let's swap this out, relight it, see how it worked. That is lit. Leave me a comment. Let me know if you guys can see that flame in the video. But it's going. Let's put our stove on there and see if it stays lit. Make sure it's going real good. Let me let that burn a minute. Get that wick really good and hot. Okay, I think you guys and gals can see that flame now. Leave me a comment. Let me know if you can see that flame. But let's put the stove on. Let's see if it'll stay lit. Can's heating up. I see a little bit of smoke coming out of there. That could be burning the sugar from those cinnamon sugar cashews residue. Yeah, our breather holes along the bottom did work. Put the stove back on. Let's see if this cup, if we can boil this water, or if it'll snuff it out. Surface did snuff that out, so let's go to plan B. Let's take this piece of wood here and let's see if we can't split this into two pieces. That'll work. Nice. Okay. Let's get the Sterno can relit. That's lit. Leave me a comment. Let me know if you could see if the flame's going or not in the video. Let that burn real good. Hasn't even started burning any of that gel yet. Put the stove on. Yeah, it's warm. It's getting warm. Here's the flame. We wanted to, we could put more holes around the bottom to allow more oxygen in there. It might not be a bad idea. Now what I want to do is let's put these sticks like that, elevate our cup. Something like that. I know it's not sitting level. This stick here is a little bit thicker than this one. If I wanted to, we could shave that down. Matter of fact, let's do that. Take our knife, being we got our Mora knife right here. Let's go ahead and shave this down a little bit. Let's see how it'll sit now. Let's see if it sits a little more level. It's a lot better, but it needs a tiny bit more. Try that. All right, let's let that cook a minute. All right, friends, there you have it. That's the peanut can Sterno stove. And it worked. It took a little while to boil that water, but it did work. We cut those 2 pieces of wood down, whittled them down to elevate that cup up because the cup was the same circumference as the stove top. But hey, there you go. DIY Sterno stove. Anybody can do it. Just a nail and even a rock, friends. Anything sharp, poke some holes in that can, and you're good to go. All right. I appreciate everything you do for the channel. All your likes, all your views, all your shares. Most importantly, all your comments, friends. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about this DIY peanut can Sterno stove. Do it yourself. Ladies, do it yourself. Practice your off-grid cooking skills, friends. Don't wait. All right. Please, please don't depart from the faith. And if you haven't already, give your life to Christ. Do it today. Don't wait, friends. And as always, God is good. God is great. I see y'all on the next video. Already got a date.